Welcome back to DINAR Community, your trusted source for the real financial narratives hidden beneath the surface of mainstream news. Today, we're looking at what may be one of the most calculated shifts ever to hit the foreign exchange market, not a typical crash or dip, but a precision-engineered disruption centered around the Vietnamese dong VND. What we're seeing isn't spontaneous. It's not random. This is a planned detonation in global finance, and it's unfolding right before our eyes. If you've been holding VND or watching this space closely, this could be the pivotal moment, the one we've all anticipated but few were truly ready for. This isn't speculation or rumor. This is backed by evidence, timing, and growing insider chatter. Something historic began at exactly 2 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, a moment when FX platforms worldwide suddenly froze. Trading hubs from Singapore to Frankfurt, London to New York, went silent. At first, it seemed like a tech issue. But within minutes, it became clear, this wasn't a system glitch. It was something far more deliberate. Internal alerts began sounding across top financial firms. The VND-USD pair surged violently, beyond any algorithm's forecast. Circuit breakers activated, but the trading volumes were overwhelming. System capacity couldn't keep up, and trading desks lost access to their internal platforms. But here's the chilling part. It didn't feel chaotic, it felt controlled. Like someone had pulled the emergency brake with precision timing before the broader market even realized what was happening. Veteran FX professionals, people who've traded through crashes, flash events, and high-frequency anomalies, confirmed this was unlike anything they'd ever seen. Then the whispers began. Quiet messages through internal channels pointed to massive transactions involving the VND. Large volumes were being routed through top-tier banking networks, triggering erratic back-end activity and platform shutdowns. Then came a tighter clampdown. Internal communications across multiple global banks issued strict bans on any discussion of the Vietnamese dong. No public statements, no interviews, no briefings. Just radio silence. And that silence spoke louder than any press release. This wasn't retail movement or noise from the fringe. These were state-linked institutional players making coordinated moves. This was strategy in action. So what's the bigger picture? You have to look beyond the screens. Vietnam, long overlooked by Western analysts, has been preparing for something monumental. While other nations grabbed headlines, Vietnam quietly strengthened its fundamentals: stable inflation, rising foreign reserves, and a surge of foreign investment in key industries like tech and manufacturing. And yet, the dong has remained undervalued, likely by design. Top economists specializing in frontier markets have said for years that a VND revaluation was not just possible, it was inevitable. What we're witnessing now could be the result of years of groundwork finally coming to fruition. And it's not just about Vietnam. This may be part of a larger, region-wide, even global, recalibration of financial power. Behind closed doors, confidential briefings from Vietnam's Ministry of Finance have emerged, describing a multi-phase revaluation strategy. According to insider accounts, this strategy has been planned down to the finest detail. Some documents even suggest collaboration with BRICS nations and hidden transfers of gold reserves to support the VND with real assets. There are also reports of coordination with major global clearinghouses, a sign that this isn't just a Vietnamese move, but part of a broader financial counter-strategy to Western economic dominance. In simple terms, this could mark the beginning of a shift away from a dollar-centric global economy toward a more multipolar system. Phase 1. Stress the system. Trigger institutional responses. Measure the market's breaking points. Phase 2. That's likely to be the public shift. Cracks appearing in official stories, updates to central bank rates, and controlled exchange windows offering elevated rates for a select few before a broader rollout. Already, signs are emerging. VND values on currency apps are fluctuating. Leaks suggest NDAs are being used to restrict discussion around special exchange rates. Foreign exchange access has been quietly restricted across trading platforms, and some Vietnamese banks have ceased offering FX services with no explanation. Multiple eyewitnesses have reported security vehicles outside central bank buildings, another red flag. These moves don't happen by accident. This isn't a theory anymore. It's happening now. Financial insiders are asking, was this a technological hiccup or a pre-planned monetary strike? Everything, from the market behavior to the silence from top institutions, points to the latter. What's happening appears to be a calculated rollout. First, test the waters. Then, follow with official policy adjustments. Next, issue limited public exchange windows. And finally, unveil the full revaluation with a new, globally recognized exchange rate. Should the VND hit a level around 0.10 or higher, the implications will be global. Investments, sovereign debts, and regional contracts will all need to be restructured. The ripple effect could span every corner of Southeast Asia and beyond. A full-scale global currency reset, long considered a fringe theory, may be playing out in real time. So what should you do? Start with the basics. Make sure your VND holdings are legitimate. Verify your notes using secure tools or certified services. Keep all documentation, receipts, certificates, invoices. In revaluation scenarios, know your customer, KYC regulations are strictly enforced. Missing paperwork could cause delays or even freeze your redemption process. Time may also be a major factor. Exchange windows, especially those offering the most favorable terms, could be brief and limited to specific holders. Be prepared in advance. Don't wait until the news hits the mainstream. By then, the opportunity could be gone. The next 72 to 96 hours may be critical. The actions taken now will determine whether you're ahead of the curve or stuck behind institutional roadblocks. And pay attention to the signals, they'll be subtle. Mentions from organizations like the IMF about regional currency realignments aren't just polite diplomacy, they're coded warnings for those who know what to look for. A prolonged lack of commentary from central banks with Southeast Asia exposure is another sign. Keep an eye on gold reserve changes, irregularities in trade reports, and sudden data gaps. Private brokers may begin offering secretive exchange deals hidden behind NDAs, deals aimed at quietly absorbing liquidity before the public catches on. If you're watching closely, these signs are unmistakable. At this stage, the Vietnamese dong is no longer just a suppressed frontier currency. It's part of a blueprint, a carefully planned economic transition. If the VND revaluation completes as insiders predict, it will mark a turning point for Vietnam's economy and global financial standing. Vietnam could gain new leverage in trade, decrease reliance on foreign loans, and dramatically strengthen its domestic financial systems. But let's not sugarcoat this, large-scale resets are rarely clean. Old contracts will need legal reworking. Trade partners will scramble to adapt. And volatility will follow. Still, the most powerful sign is not what's being said, it's what isn't. Global silence around the VND isn't accidental. It's deliberate. This is how institutional actors maintain control, position themselves ahead of the curve, and quietly prepare for seismic financial changes. For those who understand market psychology, that silence is louder than any headline. In this vacuum of mainstream coverage, independent voices and insider networks are becoming critical. And that's why DINAR Community exists. We decode the hidden signals, the silent moves, and the quiet power shifts before they become public knowledge. So here's your call to action. Stay alert, stay verified, and stay ahead. Don't wait for permission. Prepare like the insiders do, now, not later. Because what's unfolding with the Vietnamese dong isn't just a market event. It's the unraveling of an old financial world, and the construction of a new one. The game has already changed. Like and subscribe for more videos.